You have a lot on your mind when you're moving, and life can get a little blurry. Let Focus Movers take the stress and worry of relocating off your back and onto their shoulders. Focus Movers is your complete moving solution for moving quickly. They pack, they carry, they move, and they deliver safely and securely. Professional with fair and honest rates, Focus Movers will help you move so you can focus on the things that really matter. Call 443-506-7905. That's 443-506-7905. Focus Movers. Safe, secure, fast.
You are now listening to Let's Talk with Idiga podcast. Now, get ready to join today's conversation of topics with your host, Idiga.
What's good? What is good? What is really good, good people? It is I, the man that you all know and love, E. Digger, and welcome to Let's Talk with E. Digger podcast, presented by Charm City Direct TV. I haven't did this in a while, and I'm gonna try to get through this because I haven't been here in a while. I haven't did this in a while. Thank you all for joining me here on this podcast, on my live stream. You don't know how much that means to me. The thing is that we're losing people rapidly. And what I wanted to talk about today was just that. I wanted to talk about the grasp knowledge of knowing who your family is. When to reach out to your family. When to talk to your family, making sure that you are in touch with your family, and the importance of family. That's what we're going to talk about today. Family over everything. We all know that cliche. We all know that. Hashtag. You see what I'm saying? We all know that hashtag. We see it a lot. You see what I'm saying? And my thing is, before I talk about my family, because that's pretty much where I got the idea from. Family is everything, people. Some people, you have that 1, 2, 3, probably 4 family members in your family that do certain things that either you love or to get under your skin, and we can't dismiss that. That's how they are. You love something about them, or you don't like something about them. But overall, people, they are family. But the key word that I'm saying, people, is family. Now, we all know that family doesn't always consist of blood. We all know that family, if you call somebody a brother, if you call somebody a sister, if you call somebody mother, father, uncle, aunt, grandma, grandpa, cousin, you have a tight-knit bond with that person. You have a closeness with that person. If you follow me over the years, I talk about 3 individuals that I went to school with, and out of high school. We are still friends to this day. And I trust these 3 individuals with my life. You know, if something was to happen to me, God forbid, I would want one of these 3 individuals or all of them to look over my family. You know, I would want them to look after my family, take care of my child, and just be there for my family. Yesterday, I talked to my sister, and it's you know, sometimes, and we all know that if you haven't talked to somebody in a long, you know, couple months, you know, something's wrong. You need to reach out. You know, with all of this technology we have, we got FaceTime, we got regular phones, we got Zoom, we got all of this technology. There's no way possible that anybody can reach out to somebody. And I was talking to my sister yesterday, and my sister was telling me that my nephew pretty much got on my brother. And that my brother is one of those people that you would need a special invitation. He needs a special invitation for him to call you. Meaning something needs to happen for him to call you. And I was talking to her, and she was telling me, she was saying, you know, my nephew got on him. Like, man, why don't you call your sister? Now, my sister lives in, you know, out of town. You know, she was living here. Then she said, you know, forget it, I'm gone. But that's her, you know, that's her life. She chose to live it. She wanted to move. That's her. But that's not to say that since she moved, we have to keep, you know, we don't have to call her. We don't have to see. She's a 2,000-3,000 miles away. Of course, we got to reach out to my sister. And he was one of those people that he needs a special invite. But I always, you know, grew up with the sheer indication to know that if I ever talk to somebody in a good significant of time, I'm reaching out because anything could possibly happen, you know, especially if they live in out of state. So she went on to say, you know, my nephew just got on him. You know, and I was listening to her and I said, I would have got on him too. That's your sister, man. You know, whatever beef you have, whatever situation you're going through, squash it. Let's go on. That's your sister. That's your brother. You know, like I said, with all of this technology, you know, there's no way possible that somebody can pick up a phone. Somebody can pick up, if you have a computer in your home, FaceTime a person. FaceTime them. And then I was talking to my oldest brother, because I haven't talked to him in a while, and that was my mistake because I thought I had his number. I didn't have his number. But like I said, that's not a reason to just give up and not call somebody. And you ain't got to stay on the phone that long. That's the thing. You ain't got to hold 3-4 an hour, 2 hours, 3-4 hours conversations. You can get on the phone, chuckle it up one good time. How you doing? How's your health? You need anything? All right, you good? You good? All right. Peace. I'll talk to you later. And something that she said yesterday is you don't have to call every day. That's the thing. You don't have to call me every day. We don't have to talk every day because we understand that there's this thing called life. There's this little thing called life where we go to work, we come home from work, we go back to work. We pay bills. Some of us are blessed with a wife, a husband, and kids. We got kids' activities. We got a life to live outside of work. And maybe you want to take a trip out of town. We understand that. But I'm not saying that if you have family, and I'm talking about mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins. You haven't talked to them in a while, pick up that phone, dial that number, and give them a call. Like I said, if you're blessed with a computer in your home, if you got a laptop, every laptop I've seen so far has this thing called a webcam built in. And if that person on the other side, your brother, your uncle, your sister, your aunt, your mother, your father, are blessed with the same capability, you can see that person face to face. Believe it, people. There is no reason in 2021 that nobody has a phone with a camera. I don't even think they making phones without putting the camera on it. And I'm talking about a webcam. There's no reason no more. And I say that to say this. A friend of mine passed away not too long ago. And I found out about it on Facebook. And it had me thinking before she passed away, because normally she will call me. I haven't received that phone call in a while from Paula. So it got me. See, I'm a different kind of person. See, when I don't hear from people for a long period of time, I start to think about them. And normally when I think about that person, they pop up. So I was thinking about Paula, who is not family. She's a close friend, real close friend. I enjoyed our conversations, and she was a singer right here in Baltimore. Beautiful spirit. And I haven't heard from Paula in a minute because, like I said, it's not. You know, it sometimes Paula would just call me and say, "Hey, E, I just want to prick your brain today." And I haven't heard from Paula, and it kind of, you know, my spirit was like, something ain't right. So I was out with my family, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my stepson, and my wife. We was all out, and I was on Facebook. And you know how when you scroll through Facebook, you see something, and then you really don't pay it no mind, and then you read something else, and then all of it kind of tie in together. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I found out that Paula had passed. I was distraught. I didn't even know how to feel, people. And I felt bad because knowing that I did not hear from Paula, I should have called Paula. I should have took that moment to call Paula. So people understand that your family is all you got. You know, there's some, you know, some, like I said, there's some people in your family that you've been beefing with, that you know, y'all not talking, and for whatever reason, people are leaving this earth quick. Life is short. You know, we got COVID. We still in a pandemic. You see what I'm saying? And life is short. We need to really start reaching out to some of these people, to your family, and start to say, hey, how you doing? My brother is in a wheelchair. I didn't even know until I talked to him yesterday. You know, and it's crazy. I just make it my business to call. I didn't even want any. And like I said, the three guys that I like, you know, I talk about all the time, my God brothers, I do them the same way. When I don't speak to them, I reach out to them. I don't want anything. I just called to say, hey, to see how you was doing. And normally when I do that, we stay on the phone for hours just to catch up, just to catch up on life. What are you doing? You know, it don't hurt to do that. It don't cost anything to do that, people. Because at the end of the day, this is your family. We all we got. You know, that FOE, family over everything, that's not just a hashtag. That's real, people. You know, just don't put it on your social media, your post, family over everything, and just leave it there. That means something. You know, your family is all you have. See, I'm blessed right now to have 2 brothers and a sister. Like I said, people, if you was following me over the years, you knew I had one more brother who passed away, and he was that one person that tried to keep us together after the passing of my mom. You know, and he was that one person to say, hey, look, no matter what happens, we need to all stick together. I know you're over there. I know you're down there. I know you're over there. But we all need to stick together. He said that. He said that. You know. And shout out to these big families, man. I love it. When I go on Facebook and I see y'all and y'all have y'all cookouts and y'all have y'all family gatherings, you make it your business. People, this is, when I see that, I'm looking at tradition. I'm looking at, this is what we do on the regular. And all the family come out. I'm talking grandkids, great grandkids, nieces, great nephews, grandfathers, great grandfathers, mothers, fathers, generations of people, and they stick together. That's another thing. Family, y'all, we need to stick together. You know, I don't think anywhere in the dictionary, when you look under family, it says anything about being deceitful. I think nowhere in the dictionary it says anything that, you know, family needs to be spiteful or, you know, backstabbing or talk behind my back. Damn, this is my brother. This is my sister. You're my mother. So I'm almost certain, please prove me wrong, but I'm almost certain that family don't do that. So today, good people, I want you to do something. I ask you time and time again to do something for me. If you did it, good. If you don't, then here's your chance to revitalize yourself, if you will. Reach out to your family. You know, if you're blessed to have their phone numbers, well, you should have their damn phone number. If they're blessed to be on Facebook, send them a goddamn message. Pick up that phone. You don't have to have a special invitation to say hello. Pick up your computer, your laptop, get on Zoom. If they are blessed to have a email, send them an email. And I'm almost certain right now, Zoom, whatever FaceTime app you could possibly use. People with Apple, y'all do it all the time. FaceTime that person, Don't stay on the phone long. You don't have to. 15, 20 minutes, tops. Hey, man, I just wanted to say, hey, see how you was doing. That's all you need to say. But out of that, if there comes if that strikes a conversation, then so let be. We can't go through life knowing that you have a brother that you haven't talked to in 2, 3, 4 years. You can't go through life knowing that your mother is still living and you have not seen or heard from or talked to your mother in 2, 3, 4, or 5 years. That is a disgrace. And when they have these conversations with you and they ask you, yo, you talk to your moms? Nah, I ain't talked to her. Why? Well, we beefing. No. That right there, that line right there. Well, I ain't. No, that's dead stank old. Reach out to your parents. Reach out to your grandmother. Like I said yesterday, my nephew called my brother. He couldn't even give my nephew an explanation why he ever talked to his sister. He couldn't. He couldn't even come up with a logical explanation of why he couldn't pick up the phone to talk to your sister. And I said this, and I say this to anybody. Shit, if you can pick up the phone to order food, if you can pick up the phone to call a nigga that is no good, that you consider a friend, god damn it, you can pick up the phone and call your relatives. Who's going to be there for you at the end of the day? That nigga down the street that you think is your friend? Or you going to call your goddamn sister? You going to call your goddamn mother? Because contrary to popular belief, when shit get bad, I know you ain't going to go to Bobo down the street because his broke ass ain't going to help you. And if anybody that's listening to this who is graced still with having their parents in their life, you going to call your mama. And your mama is going to definitely bail you out. You're going to call your daddy. Because you know that your daddy is going to bail your ass out. So there ain't no excuse no more. There's no more excuses, people, for why it is so hard for people to keep in contact with their family. Hashtag family over everything. But just don't put that hashtag there just to be putting it there. It means something. It really means something. I'm going to close with this. Yesterday, I went to get, today is the 27th. Yesterday was the 26th. I had to say that because people would probably listen to this and say, but damn, when was yesterday? So yesterday, I went and got my vaccine shot, the first shot, the Moderna. And in the area where I went, it was around the area where I first experienced adulthood. Let me put it that way. And see, after the passing of my mom, a lot of you don't know, I started to live with my pastor. And because of that, the pastor of my church, and because of that, he opened some doors for me. He really opened some doors for me. And one door that he opened, he wanted me to live independently, to give me some type of responsibility. So there was a apartment complex that my church, well, actually two. It was Walker Daniels' house, in Bellevue, Manchester. And it was right across the street from the church, you know. And like I said in the video, I posted the video on Facebook, and I said, this was my second home. And people know me and you know me. They often heard me say that a lot. It was my second home. And it was right across the street from where I live. So roll out of bed, take a shower, brush my teeth, out the door. That's where I worked. That's where I worshiped. All in that area. And so I worked at the building that I lived in, and also I worked at the church. You couldn't get no sweeter than that, people. Back in the day when I was growing up, you couldn't get no sweeter than that. You know, you blessed to have a job right across the street from where you lived, and you was working where you lived. Couldn't get no sweeter than that. So anywho, church was my second home. I had all kind of mothers. I had all kind of brothers and sisters. I had all kind of aunts and uncles, grandmothers, grandfathers. I felt at home, and that's why I called it my second home. You know, and I loved him for that. And there was no judgment. You know, little Ernest, they didn't know me from a can of paint. All they knew was Charlotte Perry, who was my godmother. May she rest in peace. She brought little nappy head kid to church one Sunday. And I fell in love. I fell in love with that little church. And I wanted to keep going. Every Sunday, I couldn't wait to get up on Sundays and wait for Reverend Stephanie Graham to come and pick me up from my house and take me to this little gingerbread house looking church on North and Madison. Couldn't wait. We had a big window in my house, and I would go in the living room and open up the curtains, and I got discouraged because when she normally get there around, I say 7:15, 7:30. Man, she came one day 8:00. I ain't know how to act, and I was like, damn, is she coming today? I couldn't wait, people. And it felt like home. It felt like I've been at this place before. And like I said, when my godmother brought me in, it wasn't no judgment. Like, look at him. Little ghetto child, little head, the head ain't combed, or none of that. And by coming to that church and expressing an interest to be a part, she put me in some very fantastic situations that I didn't even know was happening at the time. And then when I got of age and still being at that church, I explored more opportunities. I got to travel at a young age. I got to go to places like Hawaii, Los Angeles, Detroit, Philadelphia, the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. I got to go to those places, or I ain't kick out a dime. They're giving me credit cards and telling me, hey, this is for incidentals. This is for your travel expenses. This is when you get hungry. All of this took place at that little gingerbread house church on North and Madison. No judgment. And they prepped me. Black African American man, to be independent. Look at the world. See the world. Not a lot of black boys can get that opportunity. You know, and I'm talking about this is family. This is family. Everybody huddle together and say, all right, We need your support for Ernest. He's going away to Hawaii. He's going to be there for a week. I need some money. Can y'all pull? And it wasn't I don't know. I ain't get my check this week. So I can't do it. No judgment. No judgment there. So that is why, to this day, that I call these people, you have families that have gone to this church, tradition at this church, historic at this church, history at this church, all of that combined into one. But more importantly, I learned 3 things while I was there. Unconditional love. The importance of family. And most of all, Christ. All 3 things I learned while I was there. Oh, there were some things behind the doors that I heard about later on, but ultimately, that was my home. Who house don't have situations going on behind closed doors? Who don't? Raise your hand. I dare you. But at the end of the day, that was home for me. I was amongst sisters. I was amongst brothers. I was amongst cousins, aunts, uncles, fathers, mothers, role models that I looked up every day. Now, I had my mother. Father was still my father wasn't in the picture. He had passed on. But I had people that I could look up to. I had father figures, mother figures, brother figures, sister figures, big brother figures, big sister figures, cousins, god brothers, god sisters that I looked up to. So, like I said, I'm close with this. People, if you are blessed with a family and your family is not close to you, they living out of state, they living out of the country, or if they living around the corner from you, drop in, call them. Make it your business that on Sundays or Fridays or Saturdays, any day of the week, that I'm going to talk to my relatives. Hey, you've been great as always. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Let's Talk with E. Digger Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Charm City Direct TV. Make sure you go and subscribe to us on YouTube at Charm City Direct TV. Check us out on Twitch and MMBP Radio. Check out the new shows on Charm City Direct TV, and check out right here on Spreaker for new episodes. Like I said, people, I apologize. There was a lot going on. I haven't did this in since last year. Oh my goodness. But nevertheless, I'm back. Thank you. You've been great as always. And I holler at you when I smile at you. Peace.